Welcome everybody to day 6 of Education 403, the research class offered by Lehigh University's College of Education. This is really the home stretch for us. There are just a couple of more days. I hope that everything that you've been working on day to day over the course of these last several days has been helpful, and I think you should be starting to see how everything's falling into place or sort of connecting back and forth across the different assignments. The end is in sight, so stay with me. As always, I recommend you start at the top and move to the bottom. The objectives for today's learning are to understand different types of research methods that are appropriate for educational research, select a research method that is appropriate for your proposed study for our final assignment of the research proposal, and plan for a survey design, in other words, a questionnaire or a survey, that might be relevant to your proposed study. And the reason why I'm asking you to focus on a survey design is because I'm suggesting that might be the easiest way to go in order to set up a research method for this class's assignment. There might be other ways that you think are important or necessary or better than a survey design, and you're certainly welcome to use those other ways. But if you want, hint, hint, although I should take that back, just if you want, a survey design I think would be a good way to go simply because it's rather straightforward and there's a lot of information out there on how to conduct a survey or how to design a survey research project. There are several learning modules. One of them is an overview of qualitative methodology. You can do this by reading a couple of articles on qualitative approaches and qualitative methods. They are relatively straightforward, as you will see. There are a couple of different types of qualitative approaches, such as ethnography, phenomenology, field research, grounded theory, etc., that are important and very relevant to what we do in qualitative methods in educational research. And then there's going to be a video that I'm going to ask you to watch with John Cresswell, who was mentioned a couple of days ago. He's a very well-known researcher, specifically related to educational research. Really does a nice job of articulating qualitative methodology in a couple of classic educational research textbooks, which you could find in our Lehigh Library if you're interested. I'd also like for you to watch another video. It's a very short one, about 5 minutes long, looking at 21st century qualitative research and really talking about the ways that qualitative research is different now than it was 5-10 years ago. I'd like for you to watch another very quick video. It's kind of funny because it's this computer-generated person talking to you about different qualitative approaches. It's only 6 minutes long, and it should supplement some of the readings that I asked you to do earlier in this module. Then I would like for you to overview quantitative methodology by watching my own videos on quantitative methods. These are going to be more statistical than anything else, so think about quantitative methods through a statistical lens. If you've taken a statistics class already, some of this will be repetitive for you, but I think in a good way, because sometimes repetition breeds familiarity, which breeds understanding, and that's the direction I'm hoping this goes. There are several parts to them, each of them about 15 minutes for about an hour of videos on quantitative methods. So get ready. Brew a pot of coffee if you need to. And then finally, I'd like for you to watch this video on postgraduate research planning from a quantitative survey design approach. It's a long video. It's 70 minutes. And so this is probably one of the longer video days that you're going to have in the course. So hopefully you were looking ahead and have started watching these videos before you got to today. But if nothing else, this will give you a great overview of how to design a quantitative survey study and could help you when you're thinking about how do you articulate your research design and research method section for your own draft research proposal. Finally, I'd like for you to design a plan for the procedures that you would use in a survey study for your proposed research, unless you are, and this is my caveat here, unless you are really opposed to having a survey study be what you want to do for this assignment. If you're really opposed to a survey study, just let me know and we can work something out. Otherwise, I think it's an easy way to go, and I think it's an appropriate way to go. Surveys are used tremendously throughout educational research. So I think it will be an important thing for you to do if you choose to go this way. And then send it to me by the end of the day in your time zone. As always, if you could end the day by leaving a comment down here about today's objectives, about the learning, about the videos, about the application activities, anything that you want, and please make sure that you're responding to your classmates in this section as well. This is our way to engage one another. And of course, if you have any questions about anything else, send me an email. I'm always there.